Hey guys, Coach John here. Just gonna do a little coaching moment with you right now. Just gonna release some emotional energy from the body. You know, trauma gets stuck in the body. Trauma from our entire lives. Trauma from when we were children. Things that broke our hearts, like bad relationships when we were young, a loss of a relationship, a loss of something, a loss of something, a loss of money, a loss of people, a loss of love, a pain, some sort of pain that we've had in our life, something that shocked us, scared us, something that created some negative emotions. Those negative emotions, they get stuck in the body. Emotions, negative emotions, dense emotions, they're heavy, they're low vibrational emotions. They get stuck in the body and they create health problems. They're at the root of health problems. Weight gain, pain, sleep problems, mood, anxiety, depression, energy problems, they're all at their root emotional things that are stuck in the physical body. They create ideas, they create thoughts in our mind that shape the way that we think about our life for the rest of our lives. And we create negative emotions all the time from those thoughts that we're thinking that were created from the experiences that we've had. And we can interrupt those negative thoughts, those negative patterns, those limited beliefs, and we can right them. We can make them right. We can make the mind right again, or we can rebalance the body and the mind. This is a little body and mind rebalancing today. I'm just going to start by working into the core. Okay, you've heard about the core. People talk about the core. They say you have pain in the body, you have to strengthen the core. I've got my clock chiming there. You have to strengthen the core, but people don't really understand what the core is. I got a 30-second chime going there so that I can keep track of time. I'm working on the three areas of the core, the three diaphragms. You've got the core, and the core. Three segments of the core: the upper diaphragm, the lower diaphragm, and the thoracic diaphragm, right? Three segments of the spine: cervical, thoracic, lumbar spine. Three segments of the core. And we need a 3-stage breath to fill and reinvigorate all three diaphragms of the body. I just want to do a little breathing, a little moving, a little breathing, a little shift of my focus and my attention in the present moment in real time. So connecting to breathing and moving. I'm going to start with the cervical spine, and I'm just going to start with breathing through the nose. Just like this, I'm just going to look up. Inhale through the nose. Look down, tuck my chin into my chest, look my eyes down into my neck. Look up, my eyes up into the top of my head. Inhale. Look down, chin into my chest, eyes into my neck. Exhale. Let's practice that for a full minute. Just extension in cervical spine. Full flexion in cervical spine. Inhale while I extend. Exhale while I bend, flex over in cervical spine. Just moving and breathing, just moving through the upper diaphragm, just warming it up, just getting the energy flowing through that part of my body. Just being present with my breath and the movement. And I'm intending to release some trapped or blocked energy from my body. Emotional energy that's trapped, I'm letting go of it. I'm shifting my energy for the day. I'm putting some life in the body. Good job. I'm just putting some possibility in me. So I've warmed up the cervical spine. So cervical spine and the diaphragm of the face, the head, the neck, and the shoulders. There is a diaphragm or a core here. And it's in charge of the fluids that are in here. The fluids in the eyes, the ears, the mouth, and the nose, the blood and fluids in the brain, the lymphatic tissues of the brain. This diaphragm pumps the fluids through that area and clears that area. The cerebral spinal fluids are dependent on this diaphragm being intact. So movement through the neck and spine, all through the core, are dependent on this diaphragm being intact. So, if we have any neck or shoulder problems, here's some activities that can help to release the head and neck and shoulder pain in the body. All right, so just started with the cervical spine there. I'm just going to try, we did bend and extend. I want to try to add a rotation to my cervical spine, just like this. Horizontal rotation. I'm going to inhale on one side, exhale on the other. And then I want to try and tip my spine this way. I'm going to try to take my ear to my shoulder. I'm just working through the 3 planes of activity that the neck is responsible for. It works through the horizontal plane, through the vertical plane, through the horizontal plane, and through the longitudinal plane, right up through the spine. Just tipping along the longitudinal plane, breathing. Just trying to spend a minute, 90 seconds, a minute, working on the fascia, the tissues, the fluids, the lymphatic vessels, clearing the lymph, clearing the blocked or stagnant energy, the emotion that's trapped in the body, emotional waste, baggage trapped in the body, letting go of it, releasing pain, speeding up the metabolism, getting the body burning fat again. Good job. So some breathing and some moving through the three planes, through the neck and the shoulders, working on the upper diaphragm. I want to do something for the eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. I want to try to open up the upper diaphragm by manipulating those tissues there, the lymph nodes and the lymph that's stuck in there. It's going to reach over my head, grab the top of my ear, twist it forward, and grab the bottom of my ear and twist it back and create a rotation in my ear. And then I'm going to try to rotate my head all the way down and all the way back. I'm going to inhale as I come up, exhale as I come over. And the other way. Clearing the fascia, stimulating the fascia, changing the energy body, opening up the diaphragm and the head and the neck and the shoulders. Same thing on the other side. This exercise can be done seated. It's probably, I think, a little bit better standing. Grabbing the top of my ear, give it a twist forward. I learned this from Gary at the Human Garage, this ear manipulation. And I've just modified it myself. Give a little bit of a twist in the ear. And the other way. This is taking the powerful magic of myofascial release therapy and putting it into your own hands so that you can manipulate your own myofascial release. You can do your own myofascial release therapy. You can do your own physical therapy on yourself. A physical therapy that'll get your body burning more fat and feeling less pain and sleeping better and waking with better energy to carry you through your day. I'm just going to bring my attention to my mouth. I'm going to open my mouth as large as I can. I want to turn on my vagus nerve and I want to clear any mucus and lymphatic waste that's stuck in the eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. Opening my mouth as wide as I can. And then with the mouth really wide open, I'm going to try to turn my head 5 times clockwise, 5 times anti-clockwise. And the same thing the other way. Really manipulating the fascia, the tissues, the diaphragm in the face. It's all the core, the upper core, the upper diaphragm. One more manipulation. I want to try to open up the sinus. This is where it all starts, in the sinus. I'm going to put my hand, my thumb on my cheekbone, put my fingers on the bridge of my nose. I'm going to try to open up my face, the fascia of my face. I'm just going to push back on the tissue of my face, like the tissue, the face, the skin. Push the skin back. I'm prying open the fascia of the sinus, pulling that open, and then a horizontal rotation, breathing through my nose. This will change. It'll give you a facelift. It'll get rid of the wrinkles on your face. The face will respond. Mucus, lymphatic waste that's stuck in the lymph nodes, fluids, like pussy, inflamed looking eyes, or inflammation in the eyes and the face can be removed this way by manipulating the fascia of the face. Okay, same thing on the other side. I'm going to put my thumb on my cheekbone, my fingers, the bridge of my nose, and I'm going to pry the face open. I'm going to put my hand on the face and push it, push the tissue open, pry it open. And just the palm of my hand, palm of my thumb, and put that pressure into my eyes, my elbows into my knees, and breathe through the nose. A lot of emotion gets stuck in the eyes, things that we've seen our entire life. A lot of emotion, a lot of inflammation gets stuck in the sinus. Draining from the brain, the lymph and the inflammation that comes from the brain, the toxicity is draining down into the sinus. It's getting blocked right here. There's a lot of emotion and toxicity stuck right here in the middle of the face. I want to try to remove that blockage from my body. Okay, so I've started with cervical spine, I've woken it up, and then I just want to do a little bit of breathing into cervical spine like this through the nose. Breathing into the nose quickly really fills the diaphragm of the cervical spine. So I'm going to breathe 7 times into my nose. Like that. A quick inhale. Quick inhale. All right, I want to sort of make that inhale muscle, the tissue that's responsible for that inhale into the upper diaphragm. I want to create like a failure in that area. I want to breathe in until it fails. Like within 7 breaths, it'll fail. I'm going to breathe in, and then I'm going to try to hold my breath for, say, 8 seconds, 15 seconds. Let's say 15 seconds, hold my breath, and then I'm going to breathe it out, and I'm going to hold my breath again. Breathing into cervical spine quickly through the nose. Just combining some breath work, some pressure change. I'm changing the pressure in the upper diaphragm. I'm changing the fluids in the lymphatic system in the upper diaphragm. I'm doing it with pressure. I'm doing it with a change of position, hanging the head down so the fluids can change position. We're trying to free up trapped and blocked energy in the lymph nodes. Moving plasma through the lymph nodes. This is where we're getting stagnant energy stuck. There's inflammation in there. Okay, so now you know what you're doing. Let's try that again. I'm going to try to 7 breaths. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to create pressure and reorient myself. I'm going to breathe it all away. I'm going to hold my breath, and I'm going to stay there in my deoxygenated breath. That's the acidity. I want to stay in that acidity, and I want to make peace with it. Just sort of kind of give it all away to creation for the day. Just say thank you in that space. Just stay there as long as you can with gratitude in your heart. Whenever you have to, just come up and inhale and fill yourself up with fresh oxygen. You're filling that diaphragm with fresh oxygen. Now that you've removed the lymph and waste from there, you've moved the blockage out of there, you're refilling it with fresh new oxygen to clean it out, cleanse it, bring life into it, igniting the diaphragm. It's going to make you feel a little more alive, energized for the day. Okay, so we've just done some work in the upper diaphragm, the cervical diaphragm. I want to come to the thoracic. Okay, and I want to bend, extend, and rotate through the 3 planes. Okay, I'm going to start off with bend and extend through my thoracic spine. And I'm just going to stand up for this one. Just a little shift. I'm just going to get up onto my feet, and I'm going to inhale Exhale. Just tipping through thoracic spine. Right back, best extend, inhale. Right over, best flexion, exhale. I'm going to shift to mouth breathing. So some deep breathing into thoracic area, some bending and extending through the thoracic area. I also want to rotate through thoracic area, right? So and switch to mouth breathing. A little horizontal rotational manipulation of my breathing. Breathing through the nose fills upper diaphragm. Breathing into the mouth fills thoracic diaphragm and lumbar diaphragm. So I want to do some nose breathing. I want to do some mouth breathing. Nose breathing for the upper diaphragm. Mouth breathing for the lower two. So now when we start to use the thoracic and the lumbar areas of our spine, I want to fill upper diaphragm and I also want to fill lower diaphragm with some mouth breathing. So I do a little bit of both, breathing through nose and breathing into mouth. Next one here, I want to try just tipping the spine and through thoracic, bending the spine, tipping the spine. Again, breathing through the mouth and the nose. Start with nose breathing. Mouth breathing. I'm going to drop myself back down into the seated position. And I'm just going to do one more through the thoracic spine. I'm going to take my head over and I'm going to work on a rotation here. I'm just going to open up. Through the mouth, I'm going to breathe. Exhale. Take my elbow back as far as I can. Really manipulating the gases in the body, really changing the gases and the pressure in the body, changing the energy in the body with manipulation, with oxygen, with a shift of chemistry, removing the carbon dioxide or acids from the body by breathing deeply and changing the pressure through the whole body, through the lymphatic system. Right. So now I want the upper diaphragm. What's going on in the upper diaphragm is mirrored down below in the lower diaphragm, in the lumbar segment. So breathing into the lumbar diaphragm is going to make my body, my pelvic floor, sort of move a little bit. If I fill my belly, the lower diaphragm, the pelvic floor, you may notice a little bit of a shift in the pelvic floor. So breathing in through the mouth, I want to fill the belly and I want to breathe down into the pelvic floor. I want to fill the lower diaphragm with oxygen. I want to put some air down into that pelvic floor. I'm just going to drop myself down into my pelvic floor a little bit more. Get myself right down, get my shoulders down below my knees, drop down into my hips, into my spine. I want to really fill my pelvic floor down here. I'm just going to breathe in through the mouth. And then I want to sort of fill my pelvic floor with a little bit of movement. I'm going to put my hands behind my head, and I'm going to come up for an inhale. And then right down. And then I just want to do a little bit of twisting through my pelvic floor. I just want to change my plane, come into the horizontal plane, and I want to twist through my pelvic floor and through my thoracic spine as well too. Just breathing, activating the core, using all three segments of the core. And I want to do a little twist into the lower segment of the core. I'm just going to try to twist, twist, twist through the ankles, twisting through the hips, twisting through the shoulders, and breathing. So now I've inflated the diaphragms. I've moved the fluids through the whole body. I've really inspired the body and released some emotional blocks in my body. Now I just want to re-inflate those diaphragms and hold that pressure inside and really drive oxygen into the depths of my lymphatic system. Do that with a little breath holding again, just like I did in the cervical spine, but I want to do that for the thoracic spine and the lumbar spine. So first I'm just going to drop into the lumbar spine, breathing through the mouth this way. Quickly, I want to see that belly fill, and I want to see that pelvic sort of rotate a little bit. Pelvic sort of swivels a little bit. Quick breaths, maybe 10 or 15 breaths. Hold, and then I'll hold my breath. I want to stay in that deoxygenated breath as long as I can. When I come out of it, it's like the body's panting. It's like moved into like a really acidic space in the body, and it wants to breathe deeply and clear it with oxygen. Oxygen heals. Disease can't grow in an oxygen-rich environment. I want to drive that oxygen into the depths of the lymphatic systems, into the fluids that are there. I want to now fill the thoracic diaphragm. It's like this. It's like the shoulders rise, like as if I was just running as fast as I could and I was panting. You may feel, anything. You could feel anything, a release of heat, warmth. You could feel tingling. You could feel some sensations, some fascia, some tissue being released, something moving inside the body. You might feel your eyesight may change. Something may clear. You may get a different thought in your mind afterwards. This is a healing. This is a healing, a natural healing for the body. It's going to heal emotional trauma. It may bring up thoughts that you may not have thought for a long time. Nice ones or ugly ones. It's okay. That's just a part of the healing game. Feeling is healing, right? So I've filled all three diaphragms. I want to try and fill all three in one time and hold them all under pressure. I want to repressurize all three diaphragms, hold it, and release. One more time. So I'm going to breathe in quickly to the upper diaphragm, to the lower diaphragm, to the thoracic. Hold my breath and move through. Okay, I'm going to try to fill all three diaphragms and hold my breath. Ready? That's the 3-stage breath. It's a fat burning, pain healing, energy boosting, breath work, movement, moving and breathing, exercise to maximize your optimal energy for today. Have yourself a super awesome, terrific day. Logical, preventative